Here it is, Sony has finally launched their latest flagship headphones, the WH-1000XM6. Now, I was really looking forward to this launch because I was hoping that Sony would include some new features and upgrades that would really future-proof their flagship headphones. And unfortunately, I was kind of left disappointed because not only do these new headphones cost an eye-watering $450, again, like I said, they are missing some features that I really wanted to see, and these are features that would have made these future-proof. So in this video, I'm going to be outlining 6 of the biggest features missing from the Sony WH-1000XM6. First missing feature from the XM6 is better padding. See, with the XM5, a lot of people, including myself, found the cushioning of the ear pads to be quite thin, and especially after a year or so of use, the pads kind of just felt worn out and wouldn't really provide much comfort. So when the XM6 came out, I expected Sony to, have more plush ear cups and a more plush headband. And unfortunately, they didn't really do that, and I'm left quite disappointed. I mean, you can see here, even after just a week or so of use, the ear pads are already starting to leave indents, and they're not as soft or as plush as they were when we took them out of the box. When I put the headphones on my head, I barely feel any cushioning, and it just feels like the plastic is just so close to touching my ear, which doesn't feel comfortable. And because the ear pads don't really provide a lot of cushion, and because the plastic is kind of getting compressed into my ear, I also feel the ANC unit that sticks out of the mesh kind of scratching on the outer part of my ear, which again just makes it uncomfortable. And after waiting so long for this upgrade, I really thought Sony was gonna improve with the comfort, but no. In fairness, this kind of design does help ensure a great seal, which is important to provide really good active noise canceling performance, but when it comes to actual comfort, it just pales in comparison to companies like Bose, who have nailed the fit and comfort of their headphones, like in the Bose Quiet Comfort series. Now, some of you might be arguing, well, it's okay, just replace these with third-party ear cups. Well, that's not really the solution either, because unless the manufacturer of those third-party ear cups uses the same design and materials that Sony used, you might experience differences in performance, whether it's sound quality or active noise cancellation. So again, I really hoped for better ear pads and better cushioning, but alas, Sony has not delivered on that front. And depending on your ears, you may find this a problem. Second feature missing from these headphones is Bluetooth 5.4. Now, this isn't the biggest deal in the world. It's not a complete make or break for these headphones. It still uses Bluetooth 5.3. It still supports LC3 codec, LE audio, and Auracast. But I kind of find it an odd choice that Sony would use Bluetooth 5.3 when a lot of other headphones already use Bluetooth 5.4. And Bluetooth 5.4 is supposed to offer better power efficiency and range. I'll admit you won't notice a big difference in day-to-day use between Bluetooth 5.3 or 5.4, but I only point it out because I think it is just a strange choice to go for an older Bluetooth standard in 2025. The other thing that is missing from the XM6 headphones is Snapdragon sound. And I'm not specifically chapped about these headphones not supporting aptX. I mean, LDAC is perfectly fine for high quality streaming over Bluetooth. What sucks about not having Snapdragon sound in these headphones is that means that there is no way you'll be able to get future-proofed features like XPAN, which enables high-quality audio streaming over Wi-Fi. With Wi-Fi connectivity, imagine leaving your phone in your bedroom and being able to walk all the way to the kitchen in a big house without dropping the connection because your headphones are connected to your phone over your home Wi-Fi. And for those who aren't familiar, XPAN is only available for host devices and headphones that use the Snapdragon S7 platform. And because Sony is not using that chipset in here, well, these will never get the opportunity to connect over Wi-Fi to your source device. Would have been great if it had the S7 chip, would have made these more future-proof and maybe worth the $450 price tag, but again, we didn't get that. Now, the backup for high bandwidth digital audio streaming would have been through USB-C audio, but unfortunately, that is another feature that is missing from the XM6. No USB-C audio in 2025. And this is particularly annoying because there are so many other headphones that allow you to listen with USB-C audio. In fact, here's a scrolling credits list of all the headphones that support this feature. It's a lot. It's still going! Now you're probably wondering, what are some of the biggest advantages for USB-C audio? Well, for starters, USB-C audio can allow you to charge the headphones while listening to music through a wired connection using just one wire. No separate USB-C and aux cable required. Second, because USB-C can transfer data, in theory, headphone manufacturers could allow you to customize the headphones settings like EQs and other controls even while you're using a wired connection. Right now, you can only do that when you're connected wirelessly, but in the future, maybe you'll get app controls via wired. Also, with USB-C audio, headphones can apply its own DSP to it, which allows for enhanced experiences, like better spatial audio decoding. Again, this is because USB-C audio can transmit data, whereas the 3.5mm audio cable is analog and therefore cannot transmit data. Digital versus analog, basically. And on top of that, if you wanted to use these wired with your phone, you need to buy a dongle, because not a lot of phones nowadays have a 3.5mm jack. The fifth thing that is missing from the XM6 is the lack of repairability. When the battery of the XM6 dies, the whole headphone dies with it. There's no way to replace it at home, and honestly, the likelihood of Sony replacing it is quite low. The only thing I think you will be able to replace by yourselves is the ear cups. Sony has made it easier to... Okay, maybe not. Yeah, there it is. Sony has made it easier to replace the ear cups. You don't have to send it to a service center in order to replace them. So that's nice. But unfortunately, depending on how often you use your headphones and judging by how much imprints are left on the ear cups after 2 weeks of use, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to replace these sooner than you think. Also, I kind of just wish that Sony went for a similar implementation with Apple by using a magnet system for the ear cups. It just makes replacement so much easier. The sixth and final feature that is missing from the XM6 is a reasonable price. Well, it's not technically a feature, but my point still stands. These are more expensive than the XM5 at retail. $450 is a lot to ask for a pair of headphones, and it's especially a lot to ask for when these headphones do lack future-proofing features like the ones I've just mentioned earlier, and other features that my colleague Chris said in his review, which you can go check out right here. Excellent ANC performance, good sound quality, but $450? I think you can probably get a better bang for buck pair of headphones at that price, or probably for less. But if you are somebody who owns the Sony WH-1000XM6 and you're wondering if you should upgrade to the XM6, we actually have a very detailed breakdown of which is better for you in this video right here.